Hi, I'm Michelle from the Automotive Training Center. Please join us in conversation.
Well, I'm Alan Dale from Gale Force Winds, and I got to tell you, it's an absolute pleasure to be here at the Automotive Training Center in Surrey, British Columbia. I've had the great privilege to talk to so many students and so many faculty around the great programs that they're offering here. They understand that the learning must have an outcome, which is a job at the other end. They appreciate that it's when a student graduates and goes to work, that's how the entire economy grows, not only here in Surrey, British Columbia, but across our country, and indeed the regulated colleges, they certainly get it. The other thing that they get, and they do so very well, is they put instructors in front of the students that have a lot of experience. The students gain confidence from those instructors' experience, and I'm so privileged to have the next guest on the show right now. And on that note, why don't you introduce yourself and tell me what you instruct?
My name is Adil Kassamali, and I instruct students to teach them our cutting-edge automotive courses, and not only that, to make sure that they get experience where they can slide right into the shop, they are comfortable, and that they use the leading and cutting-edge tools and knowledge to move forward in the future.
Adil, I've heard a lot about you from talking to your students. I know that you have 4 decades of experience. You bring that experience to the classroom. That's incredible amount of experience to bring into the classroom. What I'm curious about, what is your vision for passing on your knowledge? What is it that you do to create the confidence in the students? I'm looking for what is it the style that you have that allow those students to thrive?
Okay, the first of all is that I teach them that the attitude. The first of all, the attitude is very important. What is the attitude of the students? What do they want? What do they want out of this course? Okay, what do they want for the future? And then secondly, what I do is that I make sure that we impart knowledge, we impart our experience that we went through in our life. For example, that when I was in the CID, when I learned there, I was a student like them. I struggled. We worked for minimum wages, but we had one thing in our mind, was that I wanted to become a good technician. And in order to do that, what was required is what we impart, that's what we train them, that your focus should be what you want to become. Money, everything will follow, but the attitude of working diligently, honestly, and with positiveness, you can move forward, you can do anything. Sky is the limit.
Wow. Right? Everybody learns differently, right? And
yeah.
Everybody has different paces, and they all, some thrive towards the theory, others thrive to putting their hands into things. How do you as an instructor manage that?
Yeah, so the thing is that when we did a professional instructor's diploma, they teach you how to teach. There are different methods of teaching. When you teach theory, yes, but you also teach students who are good with hands. So you give them example of how hands is used, use your knowledge. You teach them in different languages. Now I'm lucky that I know different languages. I speak about 4 or 5 languages. So I get students coming from all parts of the world, and if they don't understand English, I do speak in their language, and that is the biggest advantage. And I also make sure that they understand what they're learning, so they can impart that knowledge into the shop. Not only that, it's basics. For example, in today's technology, let's say that when you look at the cars, they're so complex, right? You know, and the technology is so advanced. We're already 5 years behind. So what we do is that we tell them that, listen, don't get scared with this new technology. What do you just go to your basics? Your basics will guide you. For example, you know, when you say the car doesn't start, what do? Then you said you check for the spark, you check the fuel system, and if that is there, then you said, okay, fine. Let's say the fuel is not there. Then, okay, why does the fuel doesn't work? You use those methodology that helps you to troubleshoot cars. Okay, so those are the methods that I used, and I'm imparting that knowledge to them to say that stick to your basics, but learn your basics properly. So when you move forward, you can use that tool no matter what kind of cars you work on.
How do you keep up with the changing technology?
Yeah,
Because this has to be a constant battle and constantly learning and relearning.
And that's another thing we tell students, that you always learn. Learning doesn't stop. So you, as you are already in the industry, you always read, you always go and study what's coming up. Be active, be vigilant of what's happening. And of course, there's a saying, work teaches work. So when you start working in newer cars, you come to law, use your manuals. But read, understand, and do some research, and you move forward. Yes, if you want to become just a re-and-re, you can be a re-and-re. I mean, automotive is in such a wide industry that you can be a re-and-re person. You can specialize in one area, or you can be a troubleshooter and actually learn about the new things and troubleshoot things, which is the most important thing. And this is what industry is looking for, people who can troubleshoot. Mm-hmm. And there is big bucks on that, right? And you have to kind of give them an idea of that in today's technology. For example, how to move on from gasoline to electrical, for example. Now, people get scared, electric cars. But electric cars is nothing easier than alternators. When you look at the electric motor, is exactly how the alternator works. So you kind of make them understand that don't be scared of the new technology. Basics are there. For example, a motor is a three-phase electrical motor. So is the alternator. So the principle is the same. Only thing is that's bigger. Mm-hmm. And
what you're teaching them as well, it's important. This is safety. This is something we do every day and drive this car. It's an important thing that they get it right. How do you impart that responsibility onto them?
First of all, that's a very good question. Actually, the first responsibility is safety. Ensure no danger to yourself. So that's what this industry teaches you, is that how you tackle and repair these cars safely. What tools you use safely, number one. Number two is that you understand the safety aspect of this the equipment that you're working on, whether it's a car or whether you're working in one particular component. Is that you have to understand that you know what you're doing. You follow the system so you can follow it safely. For example, electric cars. And I'm using electric cars because that's our future. So what is the first thing you do? So you disconnect the electrical. You power down your motor and then you work on it. You make sure there's no power there. That's, for example, that's one part of the safety portion. But safety is also important, that how you also physically work in the car. How you bend your knees, how you wallow. Because if you don't have health, this industry is useless. Mm-hmm. So we teach them how to actually take care of yourself while you're working in these cars. So that is number one, that safety comes first.
It must be amazing for you to watch students come through the door, a little bit nervous, a little bit apprehensive. Many of them never cracked the hood of a car before, and to watch them graduate out the other end. Talk to me about what that means to you to see that happen.
This is to be honest with you, and this particular school where I work on, I got so much to talk about, but one particular thing is that there's nothing that satisfies us is to see someone has made a future out of himself, and to come to impart that knowledge that we did in the future, and then to see that they grew up, they became a journeyman. In fact, I have students who write me later. This is Adil, thank you very much for being our teacher at the beginning. It really helped me, and now I'm a journeyman. They write to me. They appreciate that. There's a saying that if you save one fish out of the whole ocean, it's like saving the whole spool of fish in the ocean. Mm-hmm. That is the kind of a concept that we focus in each and every student. We have students who are mentally weak in sense that they're scared when they come first. And like you said, like you said, that they have never touched this. In fact, I just interviewed a student, and he's scared that I want to quit this course. And I just assured him, I said, listen, don't worry, think positive. Think positive, and I'll guide you. To go slowly. I said, by the time you finish this course, you will be very, very proficient in using your tools and working on it.
I love the way you describe that, Adil. I mean, the way you talk about guiding people and mentoring people.
Yeah.
You're approaching education in a different fashion, and you understand that everybody is going to learn differently.
Yes.
You know, I'm going to tell you a story. Maybe you know this story, but I've heard it from one of your students already. She was talking about a car was driving in, and everybody was asked to sort of diagnose what was wrong with it, and they were all coming up with different answers. And at the end of it, you had said to them, it's the starting motor or something, and they were all amazed at how you knew that.
Yeah.
And you said, I could hear it as it drove in.
Yeah.
That woman called her parents that night and was completely inspired by you.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel when you know every day that you're probably inspiring some people into a future new life for themselves?
You know, it's a very good feeling, and that feeling that we see that the students they get to learn, and that we can impart what we learned. I think that's the best thing in my life that I did all these 40 years. To me, I know I didn't go to waste, because I am actually using my experience that I started from carburetors to throttle bodies, to fuel injection, to electric cars, and taking all that and imparting it to our knowledge and in today's context to our students. I think that, and they can actually use it in the future. I think that is nothing more satisfying for me, than anything in this world,
There'd be lots of people watching this, and they'd be wondering, God, I wonder if I can do it. I wonder if I can go back to school. I can wonder if I can learn how to do these things that he talked about. What would you say to that person out there?
I would tell to anyone that education is lifelong. Education is lifelong. Whether you are 60, whether you're 40, whether you are 90, you keep on learning. And as you learn, never stop educating yourself. Learning is a process throughout your life. So for those people who want to become technicians, even at a later age or even after that, go ahead and do it. You can do it. Just set your mind that you want to do something, and you can do it. You can do anything. Any human being can do anything, provided the attitude is there and that you have a zeal of doing something, and you can move it. And tools are there, schools are there to kind of teach you. Just move forward, but don't stop learning. Learning is a lifelong process.
And these are the kind of people you meet at the Automotive Training Center. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. To learn more, go to automotivetrainingcenter.com.